The 4 simple habits that can turn a low salary into millions.
Welcome to the Mindful Millionaire, the #1 self-improvement channel in the world. This channel is your go-to space for mastering mindfulness and money habits to create lasting wealth and inner peace.
When you picture a millionaire, you probably imagine someone with a fancy title, like a tech CEO, a surgeon, or a hedge fund manager. But what if I told you that some millionaires don't have prestigious jobs? Take, for instance, Ronald Reed, who worked for years as a gas station attendant and janitor. His story shatters everything we think we know about wealth building. Ronald didn't just scrape by. He became a self-made millionaire on a modest salary, accumulating an $8 million fortune. And most shockingly, he kept it a secret until his passing in 2014. Yes, you read that right. A man who spent most of his career mopping floors and pumping gas had a portfolio valued at nearly $8 million when he died. His friends and family had no idea he was wealthy. This got me thinking, how did a man earning less than $35,000 a year, far below the average salary in the US, end up with millions? And most importantly, how can you replicate this success? In today's video, we're going to break down the 4 simple habits you need in order to become a millionaire, even if you're stuck in a low-paying job. If you implement these, I believe you'll be well on your way to that elusive 7-figure mark. Ready? Let's go. Number 4. Create multiple income streams. According to Tom Corley's research in Rich Habits, a staggering 65% of millionaires have at least 3 income streams, and 29% have 5 or more. So, let's talk about income diversification. If you're going to hit 7 figures on a janitor's salary, relying solely on your primary job isn't going to cut it. Multiple streams of income allow you to build up the process. And the best part? You don't need to make 6 figures in salary to make this work. Here are 5 common sources of income that can fast-track your wealth building journey. Earned income. This is your main job. For some, it's the janitor's position. For others, it's a desk job. It's the foundation, but only one piece of the puzzle. Investment income. This comes from dividends, interest, or capital gains. Ronald Reed, for example, invested heavily in dividend-paying stocks. By reinvesting those dividends, he supercharged his wealth. The key here? Letting your money work for you. Which leads to interest income. This is passive income you earn from a savings account or other interest-bearing assets. Right now, a high-yield savings account could give you about 3.5% annual return on your savings. For example, putting $10,000 into one could earn you around $400 in a year, just for letting it sit there. Rental income. If you own property, renting it out is a powerful way to build wealth. Don't own real estate? Consider renting out a spare room or car. Think about it. Extra cash for simply utilizing what you already own. Side hustles. If you have the time and energy, side hustles are one of the fastest ways to increase your income. Whether it's freelance work, running an online store, or offering services like dog walking, side gigs add a lot of extra cash flow and potentially a future business. Building multiple streams of income is the first step. Once you're earning from more than one source, you'll be in a much better position to take control of your wealth building journey. Number 3, invest aggressively and consistently. You've heard it a million times before, but it's worth repeating. The earlier you invest, the more your money will grow. The secret? Compounding. Let's say you invest $3,000 per year, about 10% of the average janitor's salary. If you get an 8% return on your investment, here's the magic of starting early. At age 18, your investment grows to $1.36 million by age 65. At age 25, you end up with $777,000 by age 65. At age 35, your total is $339,000 by age 65. At age 45 or 55, the balance drops significantly to $137,000 and $43,000 respectively. Starting just 10 years later means missing out on $437,000 just because you procrastinated. So yes, time matters. Now, let's break this down even more. Ronald Reed didn't just invest aggressively when he was young. He kept investing and let his money compound for decades. By the time he died at age 92, he was sitting on an $8 million portfolio, much of it accumulated in the later years of his life, after his 65th birthday. This wasn't luck. It was the power of persistence and compound growth over time. So, take this lesson from Ronald. Start as soon as possible, invest consistently, and watch your wealth grow over time. Even if you're starting from a small amount, it's the aggressive and consistent nature of your investing that will give you the biggest returns. Number 2, save aggressively and be frugal. You've probably heard that it's not about how much you make, but about how much you keep. In other words, saving a high percentage of your income is more powerful than earning a ton of money. Ronald Reed didn't have a high-paying job, but he saved every dollar that he could. And that's where frugality comes in. Being frugal isn't about being cheap. It's about being strategic with every dollar. Think of it as making every penny work for you. For example, I'll admit it. I use the McDonald's app for deals. It's not much, but it's a great habit. I regularly score a 99-cent iced coffee that normally costs around $2.55. It's not life-changing, but the point is that this behavior reflects a mindset of always looking for value. Every dollar matters. Frugality is especially important when you're starting out. If you want to start building wealth, you've got to save before you can invest. Even if your salary isn't huge, the key is savings rate. If you're living on 50% of your salary, you're doing better than someone earning $700,000 by just saving a fraction of that. It all boils down to this. Save as much as you can without sacrificing your quality of life, and then use those savings to fund your investments. Number 1, start early and invest for the long term. Remember how I said that time is your best friend when it comes to building wealth? Well, let's hammer this point home. The earlier you start, the better. Let's look at an example. Imagine you're earning $50,000 a year and can manage to invest $5,000 a year into the S&P 500. After 30 years of consistent investing at an average market return of 7%, you'll have around $730,000. But if you extend it to 34 years, you'll have over $1 million. Why is that? Because the longer you invest, the more your money grows exponentially. This is the essence of compounding. The longer you stay in the game, the more your returns snowball. And like Warren Buffett, who made 99% of his net worth after 60, you'll see that it's not the big, flashy investment moves that matter. It's the time spent in the market. Ronald Reed's 8 million was built on this principle. He didn't just get lucky. He lived long enough to reap the rewards of decades of investments. Final thoughts. The real secret to becoming a millionaire. So, what's the takeaway here? Building wealth on a low salary is possible, but it won't be easy. It's a slow, steady, and disciplined journey that requires smart decisions, a long-term mindset, and a focus on the right things. The 4 pillars: multiple income streams, aggressive investing, frugality, and long-term commitment are the keys. If you can nail these principles, even if you're a janitor or someone in a seemingly low-paying job, you'll be well on your way to that 7-figure future. It's about smart decisions, playing the long game, and understanding the power of compound interest. Let me know what you think about these principles in the comments. Have you been able to grow your wealth on a modest salary? Or do you have any tips on how you made it work? I'd love to hear your stories. If you found this video helpful, make sure to watch the next one, where I'll dive into 4 key numbers you must track to become a millionaire. Until next time, stay disciplined and keep investing.